The following is a Bergen-Fischer Studios podcast.
Compassion is defined as a feeling of deep sympathy for another who is stricken by misfortune, accompanied by a strong desire to alleviate the suffering. We should all strive to become more compassionate individuals and raise our characters to a higher level. I'm going to tell you something that I've never breathed to another soul, she began tearfully. What followed was a tragic story that instantly changed the way I looked at her. I was overcome by feelings of compassion that hadn't existed before. Why couldn't she have told me this sooner? I wondered in frustration. In retrospect, the question I should have been wrestling with was, why did I need to know the details before I exercised a meaningful level of compassion? What I came to realize is that we all have a story. Every single one of us has a story. The details are painful, private. Some things shouldn't ever have to be shared with strangers or loved ones. It shouldn't take a peek behind the curtain to open our eyes. The secrets of others should not be a price paid for our understanding. The Dalai Lama once said that compassion is the radicalism of our time. Sadly, I'm forced to agree with that on some level. Too often I default to judging people according to how they treat me. That probably sounds fair, but I'm starting to think that it might not be. For me, this exposes a bit of a philosophical disconnect. On one hand, I believe people to be inherently good. Assuming that's the case, nobody would treat me poorly without having a reason to. Maybe it's mental illness. Maybe it's past trauma. Maybe it's self-defense based on a misunderstanding. Maybe a lot of things. The problem is that part of me believes the best about people, but another part assumes the worst. If I'm going to be honest with you, I have to say that everything I've ever said or done has felt justified in the moment at least. I always have my reasons. Everyone has their reasons. I can justify believing the best of others. I can no longer justify assuming the worst. Do you have thoughts on this or anything else I've spoken about? Send me an email. I'd love to hear about it.